Hello and welcome to another episode of the NK Active podcast. I am Nick, podiatrist and director here at NK Active, and we're joined by Dave, our rehabilitation therapist here at NK Active. So this month's topic is all about how do we stay fit and healthy when you really want to try and take that proactive approach. So before we go into that, Dave, what sort of things do you think we should be doing to try and stay fit and healthy?
I think everyone knows that they want to be a bit fitter and a bit healthier.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting question. What's right for them and which part are they going to choose? Because it's quite a wide subject. Exercise. Everybody knows they could be a bit fitter and do a little bit more. Eating well. We could all choose better things to eat, and then it's a big discussion about what's better. Sleep.
Yeah.
Very underrated. Getting a good quality sleep and feeling refreshed. Stress. Good stress, too much stress, not enough stress. Stress is generally considered to be a bad thing, but that feeling of achievement that you get when you do something well, it's having too much or too little, isn't it?
It is. So if we then sort of say, right, the exercise side of thing is we appreciate and understand that the diet's important, sleep is really, really important, but exercise is the bit that we can, that's our area that we help with.
Yeah.
So what do you think some of the barriers are currently to be more proactive and trying to be healthier with your exercise?
I think the number one barrier that everyone will come up with is I haven't got time to do it.
Yeah. We are naturally now very, very time poor, aren't we? And I think that's where it's also, you've got this quick fix culture, haven't you? And this, you want everything now.
Yep.
And it's like little things like, if I order a parcel and it's not here within a day or two, I'm upset.
Yes.
You go back 10 years ago, you'd happily wait a week. Yep. But since Amazon come along, you got Amazon Prime, you get next day delivery stuff. It's just changed our perspective. We want things now. We want things instantly. The technology is there, but I think technology has also made us time poor.
And technology and social media having expectations of how quickly this can be done, advertising, people making unrealistic claims and unrealistic images out there.
You see all these things like get fit in 12-week programs or lose 2 stone in 12 weeks or this diet program. Well, yes, if you stick to that program, you will get the results. But actually, does it actually change your mindset? Does it actually change the culture? Does it actually change the thought process?
It's the short-term achievement for the holiday, the wedding, for the whatever, but it's not going to change your lifestyle. And it's interesting, when we see somebody in pain, if the exercise or the movement or doing something, that's where there's a change of priority.
Yeah.
Pain is stopping me doing what I want to do, so I'll put time and effort into doing that work. When someone's not in pain, that time is still there, but there's a difference in priority.
There is. And we're starting to see a culture shift. And I think it's really now, since the pandemic, we are now seeing patients come to us at NK Active around, right, actually, I know I've got arthritis, it hurts a little, but actually that's not my main driver. My main driver is 2 years ago, I could walk up a mountain. I can't do that now. I want to walk up that mountain again. Yeah. How am I going to get it? How am I going to get there?
As far as exercise goes, everybody knows if you don't use it, you
lose it.
Everyone knows that. And then we're very much programmed to over-rest and over-protect ourselves. Far fewer people worry about doing too much too quick. And then on the other side of exercise, I wasn't sure what to do. I didn't know how to do it. I was scared of doing it wrong. Or I thought I'll make the condition worse. If I've got one, I just don't know what to do. It's too confusing because it's been made too complicated.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's when we talk about some of the barriers and the problem. That's where like the social media comes in. The amount of stuff you see on social media and adverts of, don't do this or don't lift this way, you're going to get a bad back or you're going to get bad knees. It's just a lot of it's just a load of rubbish. And it's scaremongering people. Oh, I can't do this. We're not made of glass.
No. And we see people walk into the gym horrified. I don't know what to do. But then they'll go and dig their garden and they'll spend 5 hours out there on a sunny day. They wouldn't spend 5 hours in the gym moving, lifting, bending, stretching because I don't know how to do it. Well, you do know how to bend, lift, stretch and move. What's different about the gym? Or an exercise.
Well, and that's an interesting one also, is because do you find some people, they'll come in and they'll say, I'll do something and it hurts, it's painful, it's bad. They'll go out and do a walk around the block or they'll walk around the forest and they think that pain is bad. But they'll spend all day gardening. They'll come in, they'll have some backaches, some knee aches, but they say, do you know what? I've achieved this. I spent all day gardening. This is good pain. I feel good about myself.
Yeah.
But then they automatically then associate doing something with other exercise as bad. But is that a different pain, or is it just the society and culture telling us that if you're doing it when you're doing some sort of activity like for a walk or a run, that's bad, but if you're doing chores, that's okay?
Yeah, and we've all had aches and strains in the past, and often when you chat to people, they look back and they've played sport in the past, or they've gone for a long walk. I went for a long walk, my legs really ached. Oh yeah, that's good for the muscles. But there's a change, there's a fear. Well, I've done some damage, because there's some people that you meet will think that pain is there because they've got damage in their system. And if they have more pain, that's because they're doing more damage. We know that's not true.
No, and we know, I believe there was a study when they looked at MRI scans, so the big machine you go into where it's got a load of magnets and make lots of noise. And actually, when I had an MRI scan, I used it as a time just to have a bit of a 20-minute nap. It's a time where no one can contact me in the world. This is my time. I believe there was a study done that I think it was around, if you have 5 MRI scans on your back, you're more than likely to develop pain because you're constantly looking for a problem. And the issue is, and it's a complex issue, and there is no real easy answer, in that imaging as a whole is a poor correlator of pain. Okay. If you see X-ray, if you see osteoarthritis on an X-ray, that's not a reliable way to say if it's going to be painful or not.
No, definitely not.
But that's a simple concept to understand. The hard bit is we're saying, well, it's not a good correlatory tool between the two, but actually we haven't got anything simple to replace it with.
That's true, yeah.
But I think we haven't got anything simple to replace it with because it's a complex thing. It's not as simple.
It can be a complex thing, but we're missing out on the exercises and doing the simple things first that are going to make more difference because they take consistency and time. And there is no silver bullet. There is no one thing that's right. No. Increase your activity a little bit more, and we can set goals and we can have all these plans, but could somebody go for a walk from their front door, 10 minutes out, 10 minutes back, a couple of times a week? Oh, that's not enough. I need to do more. Yeah. That's a place to start. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to be perfect, but you've made a start.
So that leads nicely. Now, we briefly spoke about what's the issue, what's the problem. And now we start speaking about, okay, what's the solution? And you said a really key word there that we talk about a lot in clinic is the word consistency.
Yep.
Isn't it? So slow and steady wins the race. You can't speed up biology. It will take as long as it needs to take. But we believe in clinic, and our data shows when we look at patients who have finished with us and don't need us anymore 12 and 18 months down the line, they're all still doing their activities. They're not getting these flare-ups. Is that because you've had that mindset change and you understand it slightly better?
Yeah, and I think it comes with age as well. Even someone who's older can make a difference. Muscle at any age, loaded appropriately, can get stronger and can make a difference. It's nothing to do with age. We have to take that into account.
Yeah.
But you're not stiff and weak because of your age. It's how you do things.
And that's the beautiful thing, is that the body will always respond in a positive way if you give it the right stimulus.
The right stress.
As long as you got blood flowing through your veins, the body can always improve, no matter of the scenario, really.
So if you're busy and you haven't got much time, what can you fit in? And if you've got lots of time, what are you worried about?
Yeah.
And how can you make those small changes in that stepping stone approach? Well, I've done that. What's next? I've done that. What's next? Rather than trying to do it all in one go.
Yeah. So we talk about the consistency. So how do you think what's not an easy way, but what's a way to try and build that consistency in? If you want, someone saying, right, I want to improve my exercise. I want to get fitter. I want to get stronger. what's a simple way to try and build that consistency in?
I think it's very individual. We can give lots and lots of answers to that. But how's that person? We can give the answer, put the bag for life under the table. Every time you have a cup of tea, you've got to lift it 5 times. Go for a walk twice a week.
Yeah.
We can give lots of answers to that. But what is the person prepared to do and what works for them? And try and get somebody to start. And once they've started, well, that's too light. It's not going to make a difference. Or would you like to put some more in? Oh, there you are. That's challenging. And then they're starting to drive it, but it's starting with something that is important to them.
It is. And then you can also, if you want to, if you're a goal-driven person, sort of have that SMART principle. So that it's sort of specific, measurable, achievable,
time-based.
Time-based.
You've got to be realistic for them as well.
You do. But sometimes if you're trying to work out, okay, what is my goal? Applying that SMART principle can actually make life a little bit
Some people
easier.
love records. They can keep a record, or I haven't really done that much, or it's not long since I went out. And actually, it is quite a long time because time gets away from us. So if you're recording it, I'm not a particularly good recorder. I know some people love it and they write down and they have a big list, which is nice. It's about what works for them. And they come back with a big list of times. I've done it here. This is what I've done. And they can really see the progressions. When you point it out, look what you're doing there. Look what you're doing. Oh, feels the same. Does feel the same because you're going until you're starting to ache a little bit. But look how much more you can do for those aches. Oh, how did I get there? Just by consistency.
So one thing I'm amazed you haven't mentioned already is pea shingle. You love your pea shingle, don't you?
Pea shingle, I've learned that you can get 10 and 20 millimetre pea shingle. It costs £3.70 and it's the little stones that you see on people's driveways. For 20 kilograms for £3.70, put in a bag for life. Now there's a good weight and you can adjust it easily.
You're not going to get a cheaper weight for 20 kilos per kilo than pea shingle, are you really? No. And the beauty of that is that you haven't got to then, you don't have to worry about the weight, do you? It could be that, do you know what, you fill out your bag for life with your pea shingle and every day you just put one more cupful in.
Because people say, how much should I lift? Well, it's much more simpler than that. How much can you lift? Oh, that's a little bit, that's light. I can do that. Okay. Do you want to put another cupful in? Oh yeah, it's quite light now. Rather than expecting someone, tell me how much to do, tell me how many times to do it, and look for that answer. This isn't a particular infection you need a particular brand of antibiotic for. Right, I'm the expert, I know which one you need. It's, well, how do you feel? I feel all right. Well, that's a bit challenging. Job done.
So the thing I'm hearing from you here about that, what's the solution is, if you want consistency, you need to keep it simple.
Yes.
You need to make it individual to the person to work out what their barriers are. And just by doing that, if you get the consistency, you will then get the results. And if you maintain the consistency, we then start getting the mindset and the culture.
The understanding that they can lead it and it doesn't have to be anything dramatic or particularly technical. It's the simple things that will take you the long way.
So it really then comes down to consistency and then education are the two key parts really that are going to be needed to drive that proactive approach in how to stay fit and healthy.
Definitely.
Well, I think that's a nice place to end.
Yes, it's good. Yeah.
Thank you once again for coming on to the podcast, Dave. So hopefully you enjoyed that episode. Please do subscribe to the podcast and our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, please do get in contact and we shall see you on the next episode. See you later. Bye.
Bye.